Hello, hello, I'm Sam, and welcome to the Built by Sam mini podcast. So, the other day, I shared a post on Instagram talking about how important taking decently long off seasons is for competitors, especially newer and or natural athletes. And someone asked a question in the comments asking, how do you stay motivated in a long off season? Because they were struggling with that motivation to get in the normal prep habits with no show day in sight. So what happened is they actually decided to start a prep pretty soon after finishing their last prep. And I had to really stop and think about my answer because my knee-jerk reaction was to be like, well, I don't know how I stay motivated. I just do. I like lifting. I like running. I like eating for the most part fairly healthy. Even with no show day and no race on the immediate calendar, I can still get those basics done without it feeling too hard or like I need discipline or I really need to dig deep to find that motivation. Now, I'm not saying yeah, of course, having that show day goal can really help me dig deep when nothing sounds better than just diving face first into a giant bowl of spaghetti. But overall, running, eating healthy, lifting, that's just me. So I actually paused and I took some time to really think about what I just do it or it's just me or I'm just living the lifestyle, what that actually means and how I got there because it did not happen overnight. That's actually what we're diving into today in today's episode. This is going to be a multi-part series all about how to stay motivated even with no show day in sight. Hopefully, this is going to give you a new way to think about what it means to be motivated, and it's going to go way beyond what the popular Instagram version of just try harder, be more disciplined, or use more willpower. This series, we're going to actually dive into the how of being more disciplined. Like, how do you actually do that? And that really comes down to routines, values, and your identity. The cool thing is, all of these things are skills. And remember, skills can be learned, practiced, and improved on. So we are going to dive into part one today, which is it's not discipline, it's not willpower, it is identity. This is something I've been doing for so long that fitness isn't something I have to force myself to do. It's just who I am. I've been running since I was a junior in high school. I started working out, mind you, with Shaun T in my living room and experimenting with healthier eating and calorie counting, I don't know, somewhere back in like 2012. Now, even if were no more shows, no more races on my calendar, I would still lift. I would still run. I'd still eat healthy. I see myself as a runner. I am a runner. I'm a lifter. I'm a healthy eater. And if someone asks me, Sam, write down who you are on the sheet of paper. So right along with cat mom, candy lover, I'd be writing down runner, lifter, and healthy eater. Now, you might be like, cool, Sam, what does this have to do with motivation or discipline? Well, I'm going to tell you. The idea is it actually has a name, and it's one of the most powerful forms of long-term motivation, and it's called identity-based motivation. And research shows that when we act in alignment with our identity, we're more consistent, we're more fulfilled, and we are much less likely to burn out. What this basically means is we tend to act in a way that matches who we think or who we believe we are. I think and see myself as a runner. I believe I am a runner. So I go for runs. I don't have to force it. I don't have to convince myself. I don't have to be disciplined to do it. Generally speaking, I just see myself as a runner, so I run. I believe that I'm a healthy eater. I see myself, I am a healthy eater, so I eat salads at breakfast. My brain actually wants my actions to align with how I see myself. So since I, in my brain, think I'm a runner, my brain's like, okay, that means we run. It wants to have those things match. My brain, I think of myself as a healthy eater. So it's like, cool, we're going to eat salads, we're going to eat veggies, we're going to eat chicken because we're healthy eaters. It wants those things to match and align. That makes your brain really happy when everything is just cohesive. Not all identities are super helpful or even totally aligned with all of the other identities that you may hold. So case in point, earlier you heard me say, I am a candy lover. And I also said I'm a healthy eater. But on the surface, well, maybe not even on the surface only, those do seem to kind of contradict each other. And on top of that identity that I hold, I also identify as a snacker. I think of myself as I am someone who snacks. I am a snacker. And I do snack, and I snack on candy. I literally actually have like a candy machine in my living room, which is amazing. I love it. But this is just to say that this is proof that you can have multiple identities. You can have identities that maybe contradict one another a little bit and still stay consistent overall. And we know that our brain likes our actions to align with what we believe. And what's really cool is when we take actions that match that identity or that belief, we're really helping reinforce that idea. We're really reinforcing that identity. And the more actions you take that support that or reinforce that identity, the more automatic and cemented it becomes. So it starts to become you. It's just me. So when I go for a run when it's really hot and gross out, that helps me reinforce that identity. When I buy new running shoes, that helps me reinforce the identity that I'm a runner. When I add broccoli to my plate, that helps reinforce that I'm a healthy eater. When I choose a salad over skipping my veggie, that helps reinforce that idea. So small actions help cement that idea in. Now, that is why, well, small and big actions actually. And that's why post-show and off-season can feel so freaking hard. Because one thing that we don't really think about that prep gives us is a built-in, done-for-you identity. You don't have to form it, you don't have to mold it, you don't have to come up with it yourself. It is a built-in, it's already there, 100% done-for-you identity, and that is a competitor on prep. I'm a bikini competitor on prep, or I'm a fit model competitor on prep, or I'm a bodybuilder on prep. That identity is built into right when you start prep, I'm on prep. And so that identity is already done for you. And everything you do in prep helps support and reinforce that identity accordingly. So when you see yourself as a competitor, you act like a competitor in prep. You hit your macros, you do your cardio, you get your lifts in, you eat cold food out of Tupperware in the car, you pack food to the airport, you hunt around a hotel for the microwave to heat up your oats. These are all things we see ourselves as competitors doing. And you're like, this is what a competitor does. A competitor eats cold food in the car. A competitor looks around for the hotel microwave because they need to warm up their food. They don't skip their lifts. This is a strong identity. Prep gives us a very strong identity and makes us part of a community, and one that you're really, really proud of having. You're proud of being a competitor on prep. But the thing is, once show day is over, for many people, that identity disappears overnight. Suddenly you go from competitor in prep to, I don't know, you go to, who am I? What am I going to do now? I'm not a competitor in prep anymore. And maybe you don't feel quite like the athlete anymore, or you're struggling to stay consistent. And this can be seen if you're asking yourself the question or something similar. I was so disciplined and focused and hit everything on prep. Now I feel totally out of control. What the heck gives? And what we're talking about, this is why. It's not that you lost your willpower. It's not that all your discipline suddenly flew out the window in one day. It's that your macro tracking, getting in your lifts, hitting your cardio, packing your food with where you went was 100% tied to your identity as competitor in prep. And then show day happened, it was over, and now that identity is gone. This shows you how strong identity is to help drive motivation and action. And building an identity is strong. But the secret is, what's even stronger than one identity is having multiple identities that support your goals and your values. So instead of only having the I'm a competitor in prep identity, you also have I'm a runner, I'm a lifter, I'm someone who eats healthy, I'm someone who lives a fit and healthy lifestyle. That way, when one identity falls away, like I'm a competitor in prep, you still have a whole host of other yous that are strong and present that you can rely on. And that's what makes long-term consistency possible. And that's what makes off season feel okay, feel doable instead of just like a chaotic freaking free for all. Good news is you can shape your identity. You can mold it. Your identity is something that you have control over. This is how I went from someone who drives through the Mac Shack drive-through randomly multiple times a week just to grab some french fries to someone who has salad for breakfast and rarely goes to fast food. Won't say never, but rarely. What happened was I just started making small choices that supported the idea that I was someone who ate healthy. I tried new foods, like I tried oats. I tried some spinach. I played around with counting calories, and then I kept at it. I did a bunch of little things, not 100% consistently, but overall consistently. So I wasn't perfect, but I was consistent. I tried salad. I tried eating other veggies. I added broccoli. I tried quinoa. I was trying all new foods. I was tracking calories. It was little things that reinforced the idea I'm someone who eats healthy. I went through the drive-through less. And all those little small actions over time started to build the new identity of I love fast food. I'm someone who loves fast food to I'm someone who eats healthy. So here's what you can do. I want you to think about who do you want to be outside of I'm a competitor in prep or I'm a competitor. What are some other versions of you that you want to become? Who do you want to be? And then I want you to think about what is something that you're doing already that supports that identity, even if it's really small. Now, I also want you to think about where is another opportunity for you to take action that aligns with this identity that you want to hold. What are some things that you can do that help support that version of you? Then remember, every time you're taking that action that supports that identity, you're reinforcing it and making it stronger and making it more a part of just, this is who I am. If it helps, you can write it out. So I'm someone who blank, even when blank. So what that could look like is I'm someone who moves her body even when it's not a run. Or I'm someone who eats healthy even when I don't track it. So these are little things that you can do and start thinking about to really help shape that identity, that who you want to be. To sum it up, having more than the I'm a competitor in prep identity is crucial to long-term success. It is crucial to having a successful and enjoyable off-season. Don't rely solely on the I'm a competitor in prep identity to drive you. You need to have more than one. There needs to be more than one version of yourself. So I'm going to be diving into how having more than just I'm a runner identity really helped me this past year because I've been dealing with an injury that has kept me from running or doing races in a way that I'm used to. So that's coming in a bonus episode so you can see all of the ideas kind of come together in real life and how it can look in a real situation. In the next episode, we're going to dive into values and how they help you shape your identity and really help anchor you and help you build and mold other identities that are based on your core values. And we're going to talk about a cool thing called psychological flexibility and how it plays a role in helping those values shape your different identities and how it can help you when big changes happen, like going from prep to your off season. And when these are all strong, you won't need to rely on willpower, just gritting through the discipline and trying to find motivation to stay on track. You'll just do it. You'll just be like, I don't know, I just do it. It's just who I am. I'm just living this lifestyle. All right, so that is it for part 1. If this hit home for you, send me a DM, send me an email, tag me in your stories, and tell me what identity you want to work on having in your off season that is outside of being a bodybuilder. I'd love to hear it and I'd love to cheer you on. So I can't wait to hear from you. And if you know someone, if you have a friend that is struggling post-show or they have their post-show is coming up and you want to help them stay on track, share this episode with them and so they can really start to think about who they want to be after their show. All right, I will talk to you guys in the next episode. Peace out.